Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say you took it just a bit too far. Just a bit too far to the point where it just became kind of aggravating, Miss Candace. Quite a bit aggravating, sis.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 4, episode 10. You know we've been going around and around in these comments from week to week. Ciao, Miss Candace. Girl, I can't. This week, I can't. There's nothing I can do with this. You were literally aggravating, sis. You were aggravating this whole time. Like the whole episode, you were so up underneath my... Oh, girl, I just couldn't. I wanted to take my belt off and give you... Come here, honey. It was bad. But anyway, let's go. So first things first. Robin and Giselle. Okay, so Giselle, they accepted her offer on the house, so that's great. So she got the house. I didn't even realize she was talking about adding a whole nother level to the house. I'm like, okay, I'm all for adding a piece to the house, but I don't know about adding a whole nother level. Like you get ready to build on top of the house. That's a whole lot. I don't know. Just seemed easier to just build a house from the ground up than to be playing around with something that's already there and then building another floor on top. Hey, I don't know. It just seemed like a lot to me, but okay. And she said the most important thing that I heard her say, she got the money. She got the money. Because there's nothing worse than starting a project and don't have all the money. So she got the money. Girl, go for it. Go for it. It is what it is, honey. Onward and upward. Now, what I didn't care for, Giselle, was there was no purpose in you throwing that shade that you threw at Karen in your confessional. Karen not bothering you. You threw shade at Karen, talking about, yeah, I got me a house that the IRS is not going to come to get. That was shady. That was shady. There was no reason for it. Like, that was just a bit much. Now, the other thing, that backpedaling and pussy popping you was doing with Rob, I'm not being brought into Penis Gate. You created Penis Gate. You tipped off Penis Gate. Honey, you was the first one to stroke it, honey. You were the first one to stroke it, and then you threw the condom over there at Robin. We all saw it, honey. Then they ran it back. You know Andy Cohen and his mess. And Bravo, they ran it right on back, honey. You started it. and Robin, I was like, are you going to argue back, Robin? Or are you going to let her steamroll you? As usual, she was letting her steamroll her. And then she just went ahead and decided to take a little bit of it. And they decided that they would both apologize to Ashley. But Giselle, you started, and then you backpedaled and pussy popped. A mess. Anyway, moving on. Candace and Chris. So when Candace showed up down at Chris's restaurant and was talking about more dates, and he's like, no, we're good with what we do now. We're good. You know, I'm not trying to be with you 24 hours a day. And then she proved him correct. You know, that was a whole... You literally took your little ass down there to his restaurant, to his place of work, started a fight with him, and then got disrespectful. Made a scene. Really? Really? Now, this is the second time this season that you've disrespected Chris, and it got up underneath my skin. I just didn't understand. You know, all that hollering at him and carrying on. Girl, why are you trying to ruin your marriage before you even get into it? Like, you ain't even locked him in good yet, girl. Y'all ain't even got your own house yet. And you just acting a fool. I thought it was so out of order, and it did. It really got up underneath my skin. And you're constantly screaming at him. You constantly screaming at him and talk down to him. And when he raised his voice a little bit, you went into this whole thing of just move or I'll move you. And girl, you better be glad you don't have one of them woman beaters, because your ass would be tore up. Tore up. See, we like Chris. And I always wonder why we like Chris. Chris Child, I don't know how you're going to do it for a lot of years, Chris. I really don't. I really don't. If she don't change, that marriage is not going to last. It really is not. She need to get a hold of herself. That's too much. Second time, that stuff at the house was ridiculous. And this stuff all out in the street, not cute. Not cute at all. And all that crying does not help. The crying is not a cover up for the bad behavior. Your behavior is bad. Some of this stuff you're doing is just bad. It's bad. You're running around town giving everybody what you want to give Dorothy. You do better going on over there and disrespecting Dorothy and having it out. Because all this other stuff with other people, girl, ain't nobody playing with you. Ain't nobody playing with you. And if you keep on, you're going to end up in a position where you ain't got nobody but old crazy ass Dorothy. And y'all going to be misusing each other. Listen, if you're really trying to show everybody how to become an old maid, you're doing a great job. Great job. Moving on. We see Karen and Ray. Karen is so extra. Now they're going to go to ride dirt bikes and whatever. So she's out there with these heels on, these high heel boots and this motorcycle. She look good though. Now she look good. I ain't gonna take that away from you. You look good, bitch. Wig was on. You look good, Karen. She did. Y'all know I be giving Karen a hard time. But Karen looked good out there. And Ray, you look old, bruh. You look old. Ray was out there looking 107 going on 125. I said, she threw his ass off the bike. She's like, get off, Ray. Just get off. And he ended up standing there with his phone. Recording her. I said, to get old, honey, I don't want none of it, honey. Anyway, I am old, but I don't want none of it like that. Ray, you was giving me, like I said, honey, going on 125. Stop. It's terrible. You got this wife, she over there trying to be 25. A mess. Anyway. So, but it's cool. And I like this scene because at the end of it, after she rode the bike, you could tell for it's like one time during this season, Karen was actually feeling good about herself. Because she been, she out, and I'm not going to take it back. I feel like she was throwing the whole grieving thing out there and using it as an excuse for bad behavior earlier on in the season. She was doing that. And I don't care what anybody says. She was doing it. I didn't like it. It wasn't attractive at all. I thought it was kind of tacky. But there's times when I definitely could tell that she was low in her spirit. And in this occasion, she was feeling good about herself. And it was good. It was good to see. It was cool. I was cool with it. But I ain't take back what I said. You was leaning on grieving with the bull crap. Okay. Monique and Ashley. They got together. They was doing a little bit of shopping or whatever for the baby. And they both talk about how they don't really agree with Candace's behavior and or Robin's behavior. I was like, oh God, the reunion is going to be interesting. But anyway, Michael ends up in a mess. Everybody's phone was going off. I said, what in the heck? Everybody's phone's going off. Here it is. Michael done got himself into a situation from touching the cameraman's butt. And that was actually at the rainbow party. He touched the cameraman's behind. And now the charges he could be facing 3 to 11 years in jail. I'm like, what the heck is this? It circulated so fast. And then Giselle, here she come calling. hey girl, hey friend. I was like, girl, you so shady. You just want the tea. Ashley was out shopping with Katie. Honey, Katie's staying out of the mess. But Katie was so not buying what Ashley was selling right there. She was like, girl, I wanted Lorna Doones, honey, and you're selling Girl Scout cookies, and I'm not feeling it, honey. Oh, no, he's not gay. He didn't do that. You could tell Ashley was embarrassed. And she played this little game like she didn't know what was going on here. This whore knew all along exactly what Giselle was. So I said, girl, Miss Ashley, look, your man is the freak of the week. He's the freak of the week. He's the freak of the week. He's the freak of the week. Michael, you better keep your goddamn hands to yourself. You're becoming like the poster child for the Me Too movement, honey. You better stop it, honey. Child, you wanting to suck folks off and grabbing butts and carrying on, honey. You gonna find yourself down to the Bastille, honey. You better stop it, Michael. Now listen, pay attention. I don't know if you ever see this video, but if anybody knows them, send this video to them, honey. Michael, listen, I'm talking to you right now, honey. Listen, you got Ashley. If you want to get a little boyfriend or whatever, you can go and get yourself a little boyfriend. But you cannot keep pushing yourself up on to these straight males. You can't do it, Michael. Do you understand me? No. It's an old queen telling you about the rules. Now, I don't know if nobody ever sat you down, bruh, and told you about how things is supposed to go. Heterosexual men, homosexual men, or bisexual men, or trisexual men, or men that are lying around town. All of those things, wherever you fit in, sis, it is not your place to push up on heterosexual men. That's a no-no, girl. That's a no-no. Now, the way things are, you can get your ass whooped. That's easy. That ain't no big one. They whoop your ass real good. Or you get sued, honey. You got money. You got some money. So people will take your money, or they'll just be really, really mad, and they will throw you in jail. And that's the last thing I think you want. I think you like the boys, but I don't think you want to have yourself end up down at Mrs. Furthington's finishing school for girls, honey. I don't think you want to end up down there, Michael, all about touching and feeling. You ain't even getting it on. You just touching and feeling and throwing out stuff, honey. Now listen, this is it. This is the last bit of advice I'm going to give you. Keep your hands to yourself, sis. Anyway, and Ashley, get your wife, bitch. Moving on. Okay, so she was all embarrassed, honey, and playing coy. And Katie was giving, I see you, sis. I see you, honey. Anyway, Candace and Monique were together over at Monique's house. And Monique was basically spewing a whole lot of stuff and she was calling herself mother, and Candace is what she was doing. And Candace wasn't feeling it. She was upset. And I was like, this is going to show up again somewhere. Just don't know where. But it showed up over at Katie's house, honey. But I knew we weren't done with it, because you could see in Candace's face, she wasn't feeling none of the stuff that Monique was saying. She was disagreeing, and she was coming off as a spoiled child. Now, at the same time, Monique, you don't knock me out. So you're not really the one to be really throwing out all of the motherly advice, girl, because... So, I don't know, but I knew you were going to meet up with that demon that you were over there trying to minister to. And you did when we got over to Katie's place. Anyway, so let's go on over. They were having a little hoedown down at the Katie's place, okay? So in the van going over, it was Giselle and Ashley rode together. Giselle was trying to get tea off of Ashley. Ashley wasn't going for it. She wasn't giving her anything. Nothing. And Giselle was looking real stupid in there. And just, Ashley wasn't giving her nothing. And Giselle went ahead and she apologized to Ashley. Once they got there, Robin apologized to Ashley, so they were cool. Then Candace went and she apologized to everybody about her outburst at her dinner party, which was cool. And You know how Ashley is. Ashley was not open for the apology. She's like, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, we'll have a conversation another time. I said, you knew that was coming. Ashley loves to do that. She loves to not accept an apology. It empowers her. Just like that little song of hers, honey. And she said, I lost my voice when I was singing this, singing the song at Gay Pride. No, sis, you didn't lose your voice. That Gay Pride. You lost it somewhere before you got to Gay Pride. Shady, 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 Mr. Colwell. Anyway, girl, don't you blame it on pride, honey. Pride. We didn't steal your voice, bitch. You didn't have it before you came. Don't do it, honey. Anyway, moving on. So some kind of way we got in there, and I told you all that stuff was going to resurface again. Next thing you know, Moniece and Candace are going at it. And I mean really going at it. And she's telling her, girl, whatever. Because Monique was, Monique. Well, I said Moniece. Monique was kind of, doing that mother thing. Like I done told her, I told you this, that. Girl, your kids are at home. Your kids are at home. So I was like, I don't know about that, Monique. But again, Candace started flying off the handle again. Now we got you and Monique going back and forth. And Monique talking about you going to drag her. Girl, where you dragging? You going to drag them 2 babies that you carry. And that's it. That's it. Nobody else. You going to drag that. That's what you dragging. Go sit down. Wait, is it 2 babies? She with twins or she just got one? No, she got 1 baby. She got 1 baby. Somebody else on one of these shows I'm watching got twins. Whatever. You big as hell, girl. You ain't dragging nobody nowhere, and you need to stop. Pregnant folks, listen. Don't be threatening folks, because you know there are people out here that'll smack you, pregnant and all. So don't do that. And then when she was saying, get off of me, Karen, move, I'm getting ready to throw this bottle of water at her head. Now, girl, if you throw that bottle of water at her and she fuck you up, that's going to be on you. That's going to be on you because you're doing the most right now. Because you wasn't that angry and enraged. When you're telling someone, move out of my way so I can throw this bottle at her, at that point, you put yourself in a whole different place. It's not, oh, I got so upset and I just threw it. No, you told Karen to move out of the way so you could throw that bottle at Candace. And if Candace would beat your pregnant ass, girl, I would just sit there and say, oh, because you out of order. You out of order. You don't get a pass to get to hit people and throw stuff at people. You say what you want, but you don't get to throw stuff at people. You're doing too much, ma'am. But she ended up coming back afterwards, and they were trying to get it together, and Candace was just like going back and forth, like she was just falling out with everybody. She's falling out with everybody, and then I look over and I said, well, look at this. You're literally by yourself. You're just having a whole hissy fit. And the hissy fit, truly, it really goes, but girl, it's everything you want to give to Dorothy. It's everything you want to give to Dorothy. Then they were trying to squash it all. You come back, and then Monique tried to apologize, and I knew that was going to happen. And she was like, Monique, get out of my face. I was like, ooh. So I was like, a mess. But listen. Now you got yourself in a position where ain't nobody fooling with you but Karen and Katie. And I don't even know if Katie, because Katie was just kind of sitting there looking irritated. I don't know if Katie even want to be bothered with you because you ruined her function. Listen, Candace, you need to get your shit together. Your problem is Dorothy. And you are literally running around like a spoiled child. And you're giving the energy to everybody except for the person who deserves it, which is your mother. You need to stop. And you saw that. You see it in my thumbnail. You're standing there by yourself. If you want to do that, then that's fine. Continue on what you're doing. But right now, you're literally isolating yourself. And we know you, child, you're a punk. You don't want to be by yourself. You are not someone who can actually handle being by yourself. So I'm going to tell you, you need to stop. And you need to stop now. Give that to who it belongs to. I told y'all before about this displaced anger. That anger belongs to the one and only Mophead Dorothy.